أكبر شهداء. حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل.
Unidentified drones swarmed over the Khmeimim airbase in northwestern Syria, and air defense systems were activated in response, according to the independent Russian outlet Astra Press. A Russian Z blogger claims it could be a group linked to the new authorities. This is the first attack on Russian military objects in Syria after Assad's regime fell. If the new Syrian government, led by the new leader Ahmed al-Shara, the head of the Islamist rebel group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, is behind the drone attack at the airbase, it could sour their relations with Russia. These were already likely to be complex due to Moscow's previously close relationship with former leader Bashar al-Assad. The Russian government met with Syrian officials in late January to discuss future relations and Moscow's request to retain its military bases. Oleg Blokin, a Russian military blogger, wrote on Telegram that at 2:30 local time, a combat alert was declared. It was designated as attack by a ground enemy. He added, almost immediately the Pantsir was activated. Shooting and explosions were heard. The Pantsir is in reference to the Pantsir-S surface-to-air missile system, an advanced Russian air defense system. Blokin said, by 3:30 the intensity of the shooting had died down, although it was still ongoing. Saberine News, an Iraqi news outlet, posted on Telegram, anti-aircraft guns inside Khmeimim airport in Syria, which is controlled by Russian forces, confront unidentified drones flying over the Russian base. Russia retreated from the Khmeimim airbase following the ousting of former Syrian President Assad's regime by rebel groups in early December 2024. Satellite images in late December showed that the airbase has likely been vacated, as the majority of the heavy equipment had been removed and a cargo aircraft had arrived at the facility, according to an anonymous expert who previously spoke to Newsweek. Russia tried to secure its bases in Syria, including Tartus, a naval base, as well as the Khmeimim airbase, after the change in Syrian government. However, Moscow lost the Tartus base at the end of January after Damascus terminated a 49-year investment contract with a Russian construction company signed in 2019 to modernize the port. In a second post on Telegram, Blokin blamed the new Syrian government for the attack on the Khmeimim airbase and wrote, actually, this incident once again proves that our bases in Syria will not be allowed to function normally. Such provocations are the minimum, and in the worst case, we risk getting shelling, drone strikes, or assaults every day at any moment. Terrorists will always remain terrorists, and HTS is exactly that. It is unknown at this time where the drones came from and how Russia will respond to the attack on the airbase. In Ukraine, drone operators on both sides are using more and more fiber optic drones, which are resistant to jamming. But Ukrainian ingenuity never stops. Russian drone operators were tracked by following the same optic fiber they were using and bombarded by drones. Drones with fiber optic control systems offer a significant advantage on the battlefield by being resistant to electronic jamming, a major issue with traditional radio-controlled drones. Since they rely on a physical connection rather than wireless signals, they remain operational even in environments with heavy electronic warfare interference. This makes them ideal for reconnaissance, targeting, and precision strikes in contested areas where standard drones might lose connection. Additionally, fiber optic drones can transmit high-quality video with minimal latency, providing operators with a clearer, real-time view of the battlefield. However, these drones also have drawbacks. Their reliance on a tethered cable limits their range, as the drone cannot travel beyond the length of the fiber optic line. This makes them less suitable for long-range missions compared to wireless drones. On the Kupiansk front, drone operators from the 429th Achilles Regiment, alongside fighters from the 1st Brigade Burevi of the National Guard, halted a Russian assault, destroying 1 APC and damaging 3 more. Russian advances in the Kupiansk sector have largely stalled due to extremely high losses in both personnel and equipment. Ukrainian forces, leveraging well-fortified defensive positions, precise artillery strikes, and drone warfare, have inflicted heavy casualties on attacking Russian units. Each attempted assault is met with intense resistance, often resulting in entire formations being repelled before making any meaningful gains. Additionally, poor Russian logistics and battlefield coordination have further slowed their progress, leaving their forces vulnerable to counterattacks. Vladimir Vladimirovich, this is what we're fighting for. A Russian soldier who lost his leg in the war complains that in his district hospital, the chief physician gives out necessary medicines only for bribes. In turn, the prosecutor not only does not solve the problem, but also covers it up in every possible way, he complains.
This is what we are fighting for. This is how the chief doctors from the Yotovsky district sit. The prosecutor sits next to him. They mock. I say, treatment. The neurologist prescribed medicine. He sits there, mocks. The prosecutor intimidates with this. He takes from the disabled himself. I can prove that he takes from the disabled, from children, sick children. I want to give him this prosthesis so he can sell it and buy himself something. He doesn't want to without it. Here, I'm giving him this prosthesis. Do something. All the guys will come now. This won't do. What is this? It's not the first day. For the fifth time, I passed through the Yurtus hospital here. He puts on this kind of show for me.
Zelensky doubles down. Ukraine is not part of Russia-US negotiations and won't recognize their outcomes. Any talks about Ukraine without Ukraine are meaningless.
Who speaks of the Russian and American sides. Please tell me, will Ukraine participate in these negotiations in any way? And how do you assess the very fact of holding such negotiations? Thank you.
Ukraine will not participate. Ukraine knew nothing about this. And Ukraine considers any negotiations about Ukraine without Ukraine as which have no result. And we cannot recognize any things or any agreements about us without us. And we will not acknowledge such agreements.
Finland has decided to deploy NATO's forward-based FLF military units in Lapland. The Finnish publication Yle reported that the Forward Land Forces troops are already studying the conditions in Lapland. The FLF troops will be deployed in Rovaniemi and Sodankala, northern Finland, Lapland, the country's defense minister Antti Hakkinen stated earlier. Hakkinen stated that last week he made an administrative decision on this issue and has now informed NATO allies. The deployment of the FLF troops will be organized in garrisons in the same way as for other military units that have trained in Finland before. Sodankala and Rovaniemi are home to the Finnish Defense Forces Ranger Brigade, which is the northernmost unit of the Finnish Defense Forces, specializing in Arctic training and air defense. In September, it was reported that the number of Forward Land Forces troops that would be stationed in Finland from time to time would be about 1,000 soldiers.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.